So I had to kill Rob. He was talking some trash on the prequels, and but he's a ghost now.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm
Yeah.
willing to bet it wasn't that hard.
Wait, you're really gonna miss pooping. Trust me. You take it for granted now, but when you're a ghost, it's one of the things you miss. You're like, I used to be able just to get a good magazine and take a good Al Bundy poop, and I can't do that anymore. But anyways, how you doing,
Why
dude?
were there not ghost poops in Afterlife, in Ghostbusters Afterlife? There
That
should have
was
been like a ghost pooper.
that was
Like the
always
Pterodog's little. Sorry.
no. There's this Anne Rice book where the vampire Lestat does out of body experiences, use astral projection to switch bodies with someone for a lot of money. And the guy's like, I'll let you borrow my body for a month, and you could give me like $1 bajillion, and then we'll switch back. And he's like, cool. They switch bodies, and that's one of the things he's like, oh, I missed this when he gets to go. And the guy when he gives him the body, he's all, I purposely didn't defecate so you could have the experience. And he's like, wow, thanks. Being a vampire, it's crazy. But yeah, so we have a lot of Indiana Jones stuff to get to today, and some pretty big spoilers probably from it as well, that are just out there for the record. And but we're also going to talk about Book of Boba Fett, because tonight is the night. So this show is just kind of like, let's just hang out, kind of not get too serious, chill a little bit, and then tonight we'll be back about 1 a.m. to talk about the episode after it airs. So if you guys have anything to share in the chat about it, drop it.
Before we
what's
get
up?
started, can I just say, fun show yesterday with Max and
Yeah,
that other guy. It was super fun.
Fun. Yeah, it was very informative and cool. And it's one of those things where, like, it was just nice to hear that stuff reiterated for myself. Like, it's what I had always heard. It's what I knew, but just to hear somebody's experience of it, like, like in a firsthand way, was super, super cool. Yeah. So if you guys didn't see yesterday's episode and you're curious, oh, there it is. And I'm also glad in a weird way, because I always get direct messages. How do I get a role in Star Wars? How do I become an extra and stuff like that? And it's always, I go through it because I'm all, if I could help somebody, I will. But it'll be nice just to be like, you should watch this informative episode.
Join Central Casting or go to the internet and complain. Tag and complain. That'll do it. That's how all CEOs are born, right? They just go onto Twitter and complain, and they get to run the company. Like,
wait, are you being facetious? Because I thought that worked.
Watch it actually work one day, and we have to fucking sit here with our big bowl of crow.
Oh, hey, if it does
fucking work.
If you are the complainer who finally made it work, all the more power to you. You are a powerful complainer. Yeah, so I'm actually curious on just a general question to a chat. Everybody, do you guys think Kira is going to appear? I mean, like, the more it goes on, the more I completely disbelieve the elements of the 4chan leak. It just appears that it was a well-crafted, based off of disparate rumors and evidence. And it was just a nice little compilation that didn't go too far. That's my takeaway at the moment. At the moment, there's absolutely nothing from those leaks to make me think they really nailed it. On a side note, I barely even want to talk about it, but the very fucking stupid Knights of Ren thing, Pablo Hidalgo debunked it. I didn't even need him to. Of all the things I've needed him to do, I didn't need him to. But in case anybody was holding out. Yeah, in case anybody was holding out on that one, not real. But do you guys think Kira is going to be showing up? Like, how often? Yeah, like or if at all? Yeah, Star Wars Santa says no Kira cameo in the Book of Boba Fett season 1 in his own opinion, and I'm kind of falling into that space now too, where I feel like if it does happen, it's going to be at the very end. My prediction is that what we're going to see is a big dinner scene with all of the crime families lined up. Everybody from Tatooine, the 3 families that it mentioned in the last episode. Last episode had a lot of pivotal and important exposition that I think will be more respected as the story goes on, as people know what it means. They'll be like, oh, okay, they won't mind it on a rewatch. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I think could happen. That's my positive outlook. And so I think what we got going on though is that we have those crime families. Boba's going to call them in. They're going to sit down. He's going to be like, look, we make more money, corporation. You know, he's going to say that to them. And then they're going to probably give him a little bit of crap. Some will go with it. Maybe they all go with it right away. But what I think is going to happen is that they're going to have to hire all the bounty hunters. I think Boba at that point, okay, now he has 3 people or 3 families, his own. Those 3 people, Mos Espa, they're all going to team up. And I think that they're going to hire bounty hunters. I think that's how Grief Karga is going to come in. I think that's how we could see people like Din Djarin coming in, people like Cad Bane coming in, people like Boss coming in, because he's going to have to hire muscle. And they're going to have to hire muscle to help with this big fight. And he probably has some of the money to do it on his own, but he's going to have all the money to do such a thing when that happens. So in my opinion, that's that's where we're going. And we'll also probably flash back. There's a new shot I'm going to pull up here in a second. I have like a lot of screenshots today, and it's kind of hard to keep them all I don't know, making sense or whatever and all of this stuff. I wish I had one of those really cool setups where I could just like, you know, pull everything in all easily, but I don't at the moment. And they won't let us help each other, you know. Rob can't help me. No one can. No one can help me. But here we go.
Even if I wanted to.
Yeah. Even if he would, he wouldn't. He wouldn't. But if he could, he can't. So
yeah.
But there was a TV spot, and it was basically just giving us the trailer we all hoped we would be getting in the past. It's a big who gives a shit at this point. If you had, it's more for the people who weren't convinced to try the show. But this is the only new shot. Is this one moment? I'm not going to show it in motion because it's literally 10 more frames of this. But he has the Tuscan sniper rifle, I guess, and looks like he's gonna shoot a bitch. Basically, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So I'm still of the opinion that the biker gang, the evil one, depending on your point of view, the ones with the Tatooine, you know, the ones who go to Anchorhead and cause trouble, who probably killed the Tuscans, were they framed? I don't think they were framed because I think they're working for the train. And I think that the train works for the Pikes. And I think that the train conductor was on their speeder bikes because the train conductor hired the gang. I think Boba goes to the Pikes to make a deal, to get payment and make the deal. They're like, we're not paying you because we're paying the bikers. So you need to go kill the bikers. As Boba steps out, the Pikes call up the bikers. They're coming to kill you. Go kill them first. And then they kill the whole family. Boba shows up, finds them dead. And now I think Boba is scoping them out, and he's going to do a one-man war against the bikers. But if he ultimately wants revenge, he's going to need to unite the families of Mos Espa to take the Pikes down once and for all. That's what I think is going on right now. I think it's sound, but there could always be a what is it? You know, a wrench in the machine thrown in tonight's episode that makes all of that fall apart. But
it's hard to predict this show, Jason.
It strangely is. It's strangely structured, you know, in a lot of ways.
Strangely structured. I had friends quit. I mean, they're gonna watch it when it's all over, but they're like, and they're normal, like nice people, you know, like under 30, you know, like look. I mean, they're just like, we're bored. We'll get back when it's over. Like, I don't know, you know. Like, I was like, really?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for telling me. I don't know what to do with that, but
yeah. It's one of those things where if it doesn't work for you, just get the fuck out and leave everybody alone. And enjoy yourself. Yeah, and then come back after you watch it, share your 2 cents. And if it's that it's dog shit, don't make it your identity. Just go watch something that you like. That's how I do it, you know.
See Daniel Logan easily replaced.
Oh, come on. Daniel
What?
Logan is irreplaceable in my heart. But unfortunately, Daniel Logan, I'm sure, is happy to have grown into a man, got some pubes, and not have been five. What is it? What is he probably? This kid's probably what, 5'2", maybe somewhere around there. I mean, because Django is what, 5'7", we said. And so
he's like, I hate to throw Michael Jackson under a bus, but
yeah.
you know, Disney Plus is a lot like Neverland Ranch. Once you start to grow little pubes, boom, you're out, replaced.
Yeah,
it's such a weird joke to make, but
it was my Boba Fett accent. That's how Boba Fett talks in my head. I can't do accents. But yeah, and then so we have this Instagram post from the double for Daniel Logan and Finn Gingery, and he says it was a hashtag huge moment in my life to be able to be I'm dying.
Jesus. You okay?
Yeah. I just wanted to cough in the mic really hard. Whenever I drink this coffee,
No, that's the new sound when we get a super chat. Like,
actually, that's the sound of me dying from not ever getting them.
So,
man, I mean, worse. No, don't be wrong. I'm always happy when people get them. I go on these other shows and the person's like, "Oh, wow, so super chat." I'm like, I come in, I'm like, "Hey guys, here's all of the news of the day." Nothing. I mean, the people who are channel members, I love you guys. You guys are cool, but I'm not bitter. But anyways, it was a huge moment in my life to be able to be part of the Star Wars franchise, even in the smallest way. And then to be part of the hashtag Boba Fett story, hashtag mind blowing,
hashtag mind blowing.
Yeah, he's just a kid. So I'm.
Does he think hashtag mind blowing has 3 million views or 3? Like, which one is it? Like, okay.
Like most intelligent kids, I have been the biggest Star Wars fan my whole life. Yesterday, I did I played Fortnite with a Revenge Guy, and on his show, towards the back end, he lets the kids in the chat jump on and team up with him. You know, so I'm like teamed up with these kids, and they're like, "Hey, man, I don't really want to insult you, but I don't really like Star Wars." And I was just like, "Hey, kid, you're normal. It's fine, dude. It's good. Be yourself," you know. But it was kind of cute how he was like, "I don't want to offend you." It's like, no, it's not offensive.
They know how sensitive their Star Wars dads get. Right?
Yeah, right. Trust me, man.
Star Wars. It's the greatest ever.
It's called The Empire Strikes Back, loser.
Fucking hate Marvel Fortnite. Fuck you.
So he says thank you to Tamara Morrison for being so cool and kind, and Ming-Na Wen for showing me the world of Boba Fett, best acting gig I've ever done. And you know, it's pretty nice, but it's probably pretty cool for the kid, you know, to get to double for Boba Fett in any way.
Fair. You never would have thought that would happen. I mean, he wasn't even sperm when that movie came out. So how great is that?
Right? Oh, I'm such a piece of shit. I feel bad. I knocked out. Where is this from? I'm a piece of shit. I don't have the attribution to this, and I'll make sure to get to it. I'll do this again tomorrow. But asked about the bikers, Morrison replied, "Some of these things are out of our control. We can't say as performers, we don't want to work with these people. That's not good enough. They brought a lot of color to it. I thought they were great. We're working hard." But that's literally Tamara Morrison going, "I don't know about this idea." Right? I mean, when he says they bring a lot of color, remember before he was teasing that a lot of color was coming? Everybody's like, it's got the blue man and it's Cad Bane. It's a blue man and it's Cad Bane. I told you,
like, fans,
and then it was bikers.
Whenever fans make predictions, they go based off like the lore they know. And I'm like, that's just not how like creatives who get hired to do this typically work.
Yeah.
They typically invent some new shit instead of using the thing you've always wanted to see. And then when they do use the thing that you want to see, then you got 6 million videos how they're just relying on member berries and can't make nothing fucking new. So like that's why they're all, I'm not saying that's why they're always afraid. I can't speak for a whole industry.
Right.
But I can say I have been in a room when they could either use something everyone has known for 30 years or make their own version they tend to make their own version because they also don't want. Why didn't we get the version of the thing I already know? You know, and I'm always like, look, go with the thing you really are the most passionate about doing because they're gonna complain anyway. Like, you know, go for the complaints you're willing to get. I just don't feel like so far like this was a passionate move. It seems like it's like a my initial take when I see the Vespa gang and the design of everything, and I'm like, it feels kind of like, oh, that's fun and different, you know. And by the way, in the '70s there was this movie and they had these things and we could fit the stuff in, and I get all of that, but like, what about the world you're in? What about the promise of the premise? When someone said Book of Boba Fett, no one thought Vespa gangs, you know, like, and that's fine. You could still do it. I'm not saying you can't, but just understand you got to get to the promise of the premise before you get to all that shit. And I'm just like, I don't
Big
know,
time.
you know?
Yeah, big
Yeah.
time. And I mean, and that one was even kind of funny because it was one of the things I had actually already reported before. Thank you, Ducky Momo, for the super chat. I shook him down, General Grievous style. And I turned Ducky upside down, and I just like shook the dog 99 out.
You gotta do the fucking cough, man. Where's the sound?
I know after like a year of COVID or 2 years of COVID, everyone's like, "Whoa, come on, dude!" And it's like, "Don't worry, you can't get it over the internet." I don't think.
You think if every time we cough, we'll get that little COVID warning, the WikiLeaks, like the Wikipedia COVID information?
I hope so.
Right, okay.
HBO's Peacemaker kicks all sorts of ass. I'd love to see James Gunn take a shot at Star Wars. Maybe he's too comedic for Star Wars, though. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of it, and I thought it was mostly, you know, it's very lowbrow, very dumb, but in a good way. And I was enjoying it for what it was. I haven't even finished it. I haven't even really got into it, but you know, I think Star Wars, it's like it can be very comedic. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't think. Some people will say like what will define Star Wars for them as being Star Wars in totality. And it's just not the case. Star Wars is, in my opinion, is always been full of eccentricities. It's even in the Star Wars from Star Wars to Jedi: The Making of a Saga, which if you're a Patreon or a supporter or a channel member supporter, you could watch me and Johnny talk about, just have a conversation while we watch it. And but Mark Hamill literally says that it's always had that. It's just how much, where is the line? And I think that's what Taika is going to explore, in my opinion. Does that make sense? Would we be Taika?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I saw the first episode of Peacemaker. I've got some friends who, I'm not going to say I have friends of different ethnicities, but I do. And so a few of them hit me.
Oh, so you can't be racist. You can't be racist.
No, you can totally be racist, man.
I'm joking. That's the joke. Is it y'all?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're aware how many Thomas Jeffersons I had some.
Yeah, no, I saw the Andrew Callahan, Channel 5. He interviewed the QAnon shaman. He's like, "Oh, I'm not racist." He's all, "I've dated black girls," or something like that. You're like, "Oh man."
I don't know if you're aware right now, the Hindu government or perhaps Imperial Japan. You know, like it's all possible. Anything's possible if you put enough effort into it, right? Sure. You can be racist even if you are of a different race. Yeah. But they just pointed out some stuff to me that I never caught that they were troubled by. And I don't know if that, I can't get into it now because I haven't seen it, you know, but like there's a thing in some of the racist jokes, they were like, it feels like it goes beyond like this character's a racist and it's uncomfortable to like, all right, am I supposed to be like laughing at racist jokes every 3 seconds? Like it feels very strange to them. And I don't know. I mean, sometimes like, I know I'm a big fan of Humberto Gonzalez, right? From
that's great. You know, yeah, nice dude.
Great dude. And when Ant-Man came out, I remember his review was that.
You know
the character,
like he called it
a minstrel
brown
show.
Face. Yeah, he called it like brown minstrel show. Yeah.
The minstrel show is the word I think he used, and I can get where he sees that, right? And so like, I don't know, you know, like I'm not gonna. Everyone's like, you just chill out, nothing matters. I'm like, yeah. Sure, until I bring up some political view you don't agree with, right? Then it matters. Then it's like, so like I don't know. I would say that I don't think James Gunn was trying to write a bunch of fucking nonsense. I think the show feels oddly like like everyone's on edge for no reason. Like there's a scene where a guy, like the dude goes home and his neighbors yelling F-bombs at him all day. I'm like, look, I get your friends and family dropping F-bombs, but why is the nice old neighbor guy who sits on a couch and trims his budges so everyone's like an edgelord in the show? Like,
No,
everybody.
it very much feels like someone saw Deadpool and really went crazy with I mean, I don't know the source material, so I'm not somebody, and I didn't finish it. I said I put it on. I was like, okay, this is more entertaining than I thought it would be, you know. And but yeah,
the fights, I would say, is something, again, Boba could take a page out of, in terms of just they're visceral, like you feel the fights, you know.
yeah.
Like,
And
so
Jeff says if she shows up, it would be like Maul and Solo, and that's kind of my prediction too, if it does happen.
Yeah.
But Ducky says Jason summed up my opinion on an earlier stream on Star Wars Santa Show today, but check it out if you haven't. It's a good time. Too many crime lord villains would be muddy. Yeah, and yeah, that's one of the things I keep saying about Crimson Dawn. We were talking about the Santa's predictions. You know, will we hear Crimson Dawn? And I'm like, there's too much on the table at the moment. You're just trying to let the casual people know what the pikes are, let alone starting
we have predictions to
do. No, we did them already. Remember, we did it on Friday.
Oh, snap!
We did it earlier.
Can we save the predictions for the day before?
Yeah, yeah. We were on Friday. We had nothing to like do, and we were like, well, let's do it and hope that it's a busy week, and then it doesn't matter. But
okay, on Fridays, if we have nothing to do, we'll just end the show because it's Friday. What?
I think we actually did that too. We were like, it was bottom of the barrel. I mean, we'll
do Making Star Wars 7x7, where it's just like a 10-minute show, you know, and we're super positive. So
I do want to do a thing like that where, you know, I've liked taking all the screenshots from the Boba episode and like digging in, but there's like Star Wars movie stuff that we could probably point out people have never seen. Like things that I noticed every time I watch it that maybe you guys didn't, and that you guys might do the same. It might be a fun thing to try.
But does that feed the algorithm?
Nothing for us. Nothing feeds the algorithm. It hates us. Chris Bennick says, I think the bikers work for Bib Fortuna, and he ordered the Tuscans hit to keep the Pike protection money. That's why Boba killed him in cold blood later on. That's not a bad theory, dude. It's not a bad theory. And then okay, that was Eric talking about the Peacemakers. And Dave says, you don't love space wizards with laser swords? Out of my house. Probably about the prequels. We fans write our own shows in our heads. Yeah, that is the thing. Oh, and gotta say, Johnny, I think that delicious taste is something else in your mouth from earlier. Because in terms of the backtracking on Mace, I think Mace has never been something where someone has said it is happening. Mace is something that we say is an inevitability. It's going to happen. Why wouldn't it happen when it should, and we all want it to, except for you, Johnny? You, Johnny. Okay, but on the Kira thing, I don't know. I just don't know what to think about that. You know, Santa always says, like, Santa like looks at her schedule, and Santa's like, she couldn't have done it. Like, it's almost impossible. But I also say if it's literally showing up like Darth Maul going, our name is Kira, I'm the crime lord now. Like, she could have done that from her bedroom, you know, with the green screen. So Rob is talking to us from the netherworld. Maybe one day he will be resurrected like Ben Solo in episode 10. Dave says, we haven't seen one OG bounty hunter from ESB. Figured they at least drop a Dengar or a Bosk by now.
Again, can't predict this show.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever that means. I don't. It is interesting, you know. Like,
yeah,
I legitimately I still don't know what they're gonna do with this. I
also want to throw in there that I think Black Chrysanthemum will probably come back and work for Boba at a discount price for saving his life, and probably when he hires all the bounty hunters to help him Still my like working theory, because you're doing a show designed for people who were bounty hunter fans with no bounty hunting and no bounty hunters. And when one does show up, it's the guy from the comics that we all like him. He looks cool, but nobody was necessarily asking for it. Nobody was like, can't wait to see Black Crescent on screen. I know what's going to happen this time. That wasn't a thing. And I think people will be glad that
JJ thing. It's literally that JJ thing that he does where he puts something in there and then you're like, oh, I thought they'd do something with that. But no, it's just there.
Yeah.
Like, it is weird.
Yeah. Like, like if my theory is right, and I don't know if my theory is even good because it's so like, I feel like it's more obvious that since we moved deeper into the show, but people like want Bosk. Well, we have a transition gang in Mos Espa, and maybe they're going to be like, cousin Bosk, I need your help, and that's how Bosk comes in. And like Dengar, I want to see Dengar, but also Dengar, obviously they wouldn't have a problem just recasting him, when you get down to it. But he does have a human face, and committing to a Dengar is committing to a Dengar, So he may be the least attractive of the bounty hunters to bring back. That, Bosk has a mask, IG-88's kind of already made in a way, and Zuckuss, 4LOM, they're all masked characters. So in a way, I would almost bet against Dengar the most, but not to say it wouldn't surprise me if by the end of it we saw them all, So, RF Gaming Channel, how's it going, dude? Say hi to your brother for us too. Oh, come on. We all know Ducky Momo's super chat was him pumping you for info to try to be on top of Star Wars Santa Wall of Fame. Dude, just got to DM me. I'll tell you everything I know.
Star Wars Santa has a Wall of Fame?
Yeah, you're on it. It's like on the bottom little ticker. It has like our like scores. Oh yeah, as somebody was named like Rob something, like Rob is awesome or whatever. And we were like, is that Rob? Because they made,
I would never go on with Rob is awesome.
There was you, and then there was somebody, and they had a prediction. I think right. I think whoever that was, I think you guessed right. I think I dropped a little bit of too many breadcrumbs and you picked that up. So whoever says Rob is awesome, thank you for paying attention. James Gunn has said in the past he would never do a Star Wars, but he also said the Guardians were in Avengers. So I don't know. That's David Lozano. Yeah, I gotta say it. Like personally, if I was a creative and I had Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was pretty much like my playground, I don't know why I would jump into Star Wars, because I feel like Guardians of the Galaxy is almost his idea of what Star Wars should be, And also,
he already has a big space adventure.
Yeah, and he could, and he's not, and he won't get a bunch of shit for it. People like it, and so why
he can use whatever music he wants. He's not like bound by. He's not bound by whatever Star Warsy music he has to use.
Yeah, and
could you imagine if in the James Gunn Star Wars show he puts in like tracks from the Star Wars disco album? Yeah, like that. Careful what you wish for, folks. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I think there's a right way to do that. Even I'm open-minded enough about it. Like I'm like, basically, if anything is sacred, it's not Star Wars after it's been sold to Disney. It's not Star Wars after it was 6 films. If Rocky was 1 film, I would call it sacred. But the fact that it feels like there's 20 Rocky movies, nothing is sacred. I mean, it's pop culture. It's not, there's nothing sacred about pop culture. I don't feel like. I feel like an artist, like a dead artist's legacy, treat it sacred if you want. But a living, breathing.
So when Disney buys the Nirvana back catalog,
right, don't
it into a theme park attraction,
like what I've done to you. I CGI Tupac hologram to you tonight after your death, and you know what I mean. But it's like it's like it's fantasy, and Star Wars is just I guess like a lens to project a fantasy. Like it could have been John Carter from Mars. All of this could have been a John Carter from Mars thing if they had wanted to make it, or a Flash Gordon thing. They're just picking the Star Wars lens.
Speaking of John Carter of Mars, not my movie, but I do think they should fucking throw who's the director, the dude from Monsters Inc. who did that? It was Andrew Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Stanton. They should throw him some Star Wars time on the TV shows or something if he wanted to.
Yeah,
because he could put it together pretty. I almost feel like if they were going to go for that character heart thing and not a pure action piece, which is what I wanted from Boba Fett, then I think Andrew Stanton might have been the better deal for this show. In terms of going for that David Lean, Lawrence of Arabia character thing, that John Carter, that movie, hits more of that here than, you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that this isn't the crew to go with, but
I would also like to add that whoever thought it was a good idea to keep John Carter as a Confederate soldier might want to direct the episode about why it's a good idea to let the Palpatine statue stay on Coruscant. That might be a good one too.
Oh, dude, I had a hard time getting my friends to understand that when that movie came out. Now they get it. Oh, that's why you had an issue with the fucking... Yeah, he's a Confederate... Guys,
yeah.
Was he misunderstood?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I get being a total shitbag racist piece of shit, and then he fucking learns a lesson, right?
Yeah.
But whatever. It's a 100-year-old story,
Yeah. I got into it at the grocery store during a pandemic, like 2 weeks ago now, over that. This guy's like, you're trying to take down all the statues in the South. And I'm just like, look, man, there's a lot of great culture in the South that they could keep, like the food. But let's not keep Confederate soldiers. Statues of Confederate soldiers, they suck. Joel, in case you're wondering, I'm the guy who you call. I don't really want to take the call. I reluctantly take the call, and they don't let you hang up. I'm that guy.
Who are you going to call?
Yeah, I agree.
I just wish she did that in the movie. But by the way, Annie Potts in Ghostbusters Afterlife I get that's the same kind of haircut she had in the first movie, but her and for 1 second I almost got her confused with the real estate lady who sells them the firehouse in the first movie too, right? Like for a second,
I remember that you saying that. Yeah.
I almost wish she was wearing that weird fucking wig she was wearing from Ghostbusters 2, just so I knew. I'm glad she wasn't, but you know what I mean? Like it's a little goofy, but
see, I actually like the ridiculousness of that biker gang in the last episode of the Vespa biker gang, but I also strangely find, I mean, Annie Potts is super hot, and then in Ghostbusters they made she's like playing a role where she's not hot. So like as a kid I just didn't see it. Now I like, you watch Corvette Summer, you're like, fuck, Annie Potts is smoking, and you remember Designing Women, you're like, fuck yeah, Annie Potts, you got it going on. But you watch Ghostbusters 1, it just, to me it's like, no. But I watched.
Well, it was Who's Harry Crumb that showed me how hot that woman was.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I mean, honestly, if there was ever prepubescent fat material, it's Annie Potts and Who's Harry Crumb.
Yeah.
Hats off, entertainment. I get you.
No, but in Ghostbusters 2, I find her super hot. It's weird, man. But
it's the wig, my friend.
Yeah. No, it's like, it's almost like a stripper version of Janine or something going on.
Yeah.
If Mace returns, you think the most appropriate usage would be in Kenobi? I don't know. I feel like
be here. Kenobi would, the appropriate story for Kenobi is Kenobi versus Anakin.
I mean, well, okay, let's just play with it for a sec. What if Mace is alive and Kenobi finds out, Kenobi knows? What if there's some connection there, and like, you know what I mean? Like he discovers him or saves him or something like that, and then puts him in a.
What you're saying is Kenobi opens up and there's a black hand floating in space because no idea
is
ever left unused.
It falls down and he's like, it's Mace Windu's hand from Coruscant. The Force works in mysterious ways, let me tell you guys. Yeah. he picks it up and he's like, "You're my girlfriend now." Anyways,
I can't do it because I hold the hand up like a puppet. I want to be your little hand. Fuck you.
I can't be racist, Kenobi, because I have a black girlfriend now. Whoa, come on, Kenobi. Hand. Come on. Inappropriate. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so I mean there is I'm not expecting that or anything like that, but I mean that's a possibility. They definitely could open it up, and then in season 2 Boba has to deal with the fact
it's gonna piss everyone off though when they're not getting to that Anakin Obi-Wan story and they're dealing with something else.
Yeah, well that's the thing is I'm not like, I know it's strewn about. I mean every Inquisitor you could imagine is going to be in the show. So there's going to be somebody fighting all of those guys. So they're already going to be mad about that. Why am I seeing Obi-Wan Kenobi fight this, this Inquisitor guy?
But that's still Jedi
red lightsabers.
So.
I see red lightsabers and I'm just happy. I'm just so content. But
I think the Mace is better suited to this, but
yeah, no, me too. I mean, like, and like, because I just feel like there's like number one, I always say you do have to give Mace that never-ending story guy vibe at the end, like with the bald head and like the white Fu Manchu or something, because he's supposed to be old, but we could just say, whatever. Age is weird in Star Wars, right?
New story.
But yeah, it's a great song.
I love that ending to Stranger Things where they were all doing that, by the way. I really do. Like it's one of those things where I'm like, this could not work, and for some reason it's really working for Rob. Like these kids shouldn't even fucking know about this. Well, no, it's the 80s. Never mind. I get it.
Yeah.
I think it worked really well, and I'm not a song and dance guy, so
I like Johnny's comment. He's all, no bounty hunters, just daimios, baby. Or before the Battle of Yavin? Just daimios before the Battle of Yavin? What are you talking about? Do you even know Star Wars?
Hey, Jason, when you get your internet check from the internet for all the years you put in, right? When you get that big check, we should open up a competing restaurant next to Scum and Billy called Just Daimios. Yeah, I like it.
Max says, she says, look on the lookout for Max Miliano's braids in the background. I'm gonna see him. I'm gonna see him tonight. I know it. But
I was just like, oh, you're cousin Eddie's. I was like, holy shit! Like, and you weren't even supposed to wear the hat. So, had they understood that he was supposed to have the braids on set, we never get the cousin Eddie hat in Star Wars. Or do you think that hat would have gone to someone else?
Right. Yeah. Now, I kind of think like with Mace though, that they're like a good way of doing it could be to give him his own series in the end, and then to not have that confrontation between them come until after that series. Like that would be fun if that happened. If we learn at the end of this one that it's coming, and then we learn about exactly what Mace is doing, because if you do go with the George Lucas concept that there's like 100 Jedi alive post prequels, and remember that sounds ridiculous because we grew up with Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda are the last of the Jedi and there's just Luke Skywalker. It can't be done, but that's when that was only the story. But when you go with the like tens of thousands of Jedi and this big massacre happens, having like 100 of them out there, that's fine. I think that's even more realistic than the story that they implied. And but so if they go that route, there almost needs to be a bigger contingency at play, even if it doesn't come into being at first, and then they can have it be important later. Because we have Ahsoka and we have the World Between Worlds and Ezra Bridger and all the stuff like that, and like Luke has to do what he has to do. But what if there's a greater thing at play, like the future of the Jedi? What if Luke fails? What if Mace, knowing that Anakin was a little bitch, doesn't think that his kid's going to be any better off, and has like a bigger plan, for the future of the Jedi, and it's not, it's more mystical. There's something bigger at play, like there's all kinds of things that we've already learned about the Jedi, like when Grogu goes to that Force phone booth and calls up Luke. Like there's weird places that we never even considered were a thing necessarily. And so who knows what Mace Windu is doing. And Mace, you know, has to believe that he can't fight Palpatine. He has to believe that that Anakin is truly lost, that there's nothing to redeem.
I like the idea
there.
that Mace is gone mad, honestly.
You like crazy Mace?
I think going the George Saboth route with Mace, and he's gone mad. He's in his own world, and he's kind of on a place where he's just like this little fucking like this like I rule this. I'm a mean ruler to a small indigenous group of people. You see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to. But like he's just not giving him some kind of like deep psychological, like, well, not deep psychological, but like, I'll be here and I don't want to do this and I want to get involved. I don't know if that's quite the way. Just going mad, I think, is the better. Because then you give the chance to show, will Boba save the guy who murdered his father or kill the guy who murdered his father?
Yeah.
And can you redeem, like, there's another, and good or bad, I mean, he doesn't have to make the same right decisions, And if he kills Mace in anger and we think he deserved it, but then we see Mace, I don't know, like, there could be repercussions for Boba doing the wrong thing too. Mm-hmm. Like, we get to see what happened if Luke had just killed Vader and been like, fuck, I don't care if he's my father, you deserve to die, And then what happens to you when you do that,
Yeah, I wonder, like, on one hand, I almost feel stupid saying, could Samuel L. Jackson play crazy? Because he usually plays tempered crazy, where he seems like very quiet, and then like a storm fucking and get you. You know what I mean? You fucked up, and that's kind of what he does. But I could definitely see playing that into a crazy way. I could also see almost going with like an Alejandro Jodorowsky kind of route in this too, like in El Topo, when he goes out to find the masters. El Topo is like, takes like the samurai genre, puts it into the Western, and he goes out and he has to fight these like, master gunfighters across the world. And sure. I could also see there being kind of a thing like that where you just see Mace, and wherever he is, he just, is very, very much resigned, but also still a master at his game, But will they do that? I mean, I don't think anybody is saying they're doing that. I don't think anybody's saying Mace Windu any minute now. Nobody has said Samuel L. Jackson has filmed a fucking thing. So that's important to remember. But does it seem like it will happen eventually? Is it inevitable? I think so.
Look, eventually something will happen in this series. I'm just waiting for it.
Yeah.
Being facetious.
Okay. So now we're going to get into some Indiana Jones 5 spoilers. We don't really know what's going on with it. So, in a weird way, don't take it too seriously. We're just filling it out, trying to make sense of the world. But remember this big old stack of beef?
Yeah, man, that guy. What he reminded me of? You ever see that comic, The Goon?
Uh-huh.
They were trying to make a movie, an animated film out of it too. It's really good. It's was Eric Powell illustrated. If you ever seen The Goon, it's beautiful. But it's got a noir. It's got this big brutish Popeye looking goon dude, The Goon, and like I look at him, I'm like, man, that fucking dude is he is literally like the coolest Dick Tracy villain with no makeup, right? Like he's like what we thought Biff would, like if Biff had grown up, right? Like.
Yeah, no, big time. But look at him.
Yeah,
this is him as some kind of, I think, Roman soldier. Maybe I guess like a tooth or something here. Maybe I can't tell. But yeah, it's like he's look at how he's dressed. Look at this little kid back here. He's like, what the hell is going on over here? But look at him.
That little guy's 7 foot tall too. So think about how big this dude is.
Yeah, the cyclist is tiny, and then he's huge. It makes it look even more comical. Man, I was like, is he black or satin? But he's big. But but check him out, right? Roman, 1969. Roman,
yeah,
1969. So I have to say, it's looking like there is definitely a strange, is time travel at play? I think so. Unless, I mean, and at one point we were like, what if there's like an Animal House style chase and the Nazis go through a film set, which I don't know why they would be making a film set, but we were like trying to like what could it be, trying to make sense of the world. And I didn't really buy that
believed
theory.
a film set, by the way.
Like, no, I didn't ever believe it either, but it was okay. Let's consider it, right?
I mean, look, there's a giant musical as the opening to Temple of Doom. So, like, anything's possible, right? Like, it opens up and they're like on this thing, and it turns out, no, it's a film set, and Indy was just there as a consultant. I mean, look, that could still happen, and that's why that guy, you know what I mean? It was actually been shadowing him, and you think he's an extra on set, but he's really part of the FBI. It could be that blasé, but I don't know.
His name is.
I don't think Mangold would do that though. Like I figure Mangold's on board for,
No, it would have to be really creative. I would even I hate to use the word, but it would have to be almost an effervescent idea for him to go something that silly. It would have to be great in some weird way that we can't predict. But
I'm gonna drop effervescent on my wife tonight somehow.
Do it.
Work that one in.
Tell her she's effervescent. She'll love it. She'll be like, Rob, it's like a baby right now.
Thank you. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, no problem, dude. But so this guy right here, like I've gone back and forth. I'm like, like is Indy up against some kind of like secret society that is exploiting time? And you know what I mean? Or is it a weird joke that he has to fight that guy in 1969 and then he literally has to fight his ancestor back then? You know what I mean? Like as he travels through time, it's probably the same guy.
My favorite book is 11/22/63, written by Stephen King, right? And there's a scene in the book when there's this time tunnel where if you go into it, you end up in 1958, right? Every time, September 9th, 1958.
And the food tastes better. Look, he knows, he remembers.
And it's located in this diner. It's really weird, the whole, right? And so the diner is going to be sold off. And there's this discussion about, like, well, what do we do? Tell the fucking guy goes, what am I supposed to do? Go down to the local authority, the city, and tell them that there's a time tunnel here and they need to preserve it, And he uses this line about the government using the time tunnel to go back into, and this is the line, to go back into unarmored history.
Yeah.
And that line of unarmored history is just a creative, like, history is unprotected from the spoils of the future, right? Like the way like indigenous cultures were not prepared for the Spanish fleets to show up and just maraud their culture, their countries, the same way that history would not be prepared for modern society to just show up and do whatever the fuck it wanted,
Right.
Like, yeah, living unarmored history, I think, is the line. Great line.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Hulu movie. I didn't read the book though, but
the book is way better. But that series says the book is better, so I like the series. It's good. The book is better.
So I saw this on Facebook. I'm part of a Indiana Jones 5 spoiler group on Facebook, and I saw this about a week ago on there or so, and it was somebody claiming that Anthony and Gruber has joined the Indy 5 cast. And
I haven't heard in a long time.
He previously played the young version of Harrison Ford in the character The Age of Adeline and auditioned for Solo: A Star Wars Story. And I'm guessing
I'm not trying to put fault against Ingruber.
Yeah, it's not his fault.
Do you think secretly he's like, why is this? If Harrison Ford would just die, I could get a lot more work.
I mean,
or does he feel like he has to catch up? Like, you think he's worried that the deep fake guy will catch up to Ingruber?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like, I think in terms, I don't think it was a mistake to not have cast him in Solo: A Star Wars Story. I mean, it's like being able to do an impression and in small doses, and being able to carry a film are completely two different things. I mean, we're seeing that with Tamura Morrison right now. I'm curious as to how it feels. When
I'm
all
of
is
the
said and
mind that
done.
you cast someone that doesn't look any fucking thing like Harrison Ford, but can act a fucking swagger.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like you could put Taika Waititi in that role as Han Solo for all I care. Well, you can't rob him. I don't give a shit. You know, we got Val Kilmer and George Clooney as Batmans in the same fucking weird universe as half the other actors from the other films, right? Like Alfred's in all the same movies. Chris O'Donnell. Val Kilmer don't look like Michael Keaton, and Clooney don't look like. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I just care about the swagger.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't seen Ingruber throw out any swagger. You know, like he tends to just kind of like pose, right? Like good poses.
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't know where Gruber's at, like in all of this at the moment. Like he may be, he may be taking all of this stuff in, working at it, and maybe Gruber one day will be the best Harrison Ford replacement in the world. I mean, I could see it. I believe it could happen. I also can see him not being able to carry a film, you know, when they were putting it together in 2017 or 2016. And maybe he can now. If I were Disney, I would be investing in the guy personally, though. I would be investing in making this guy into, because I mean, the thing about Alden Ehrenreich is he is actually a very good actor. And is he ever going to, you know, be tied down to Solo, even if they were using him? And I don't even know if that's the case. Like, I don't even know if he would. Anthony Gruber seems like he's down, like he wants it. That's always been every indication I've ever had from him.
That's the only justification I have for keeping Henry Cavill as Superman. I'm like, I don't think his acting was particularly great, but the fucking dude loves the role, and he is, you know, he is charming, and he fucking can look the part. So like, just I guess let him do it. Why not? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think his acting is any better or worse than the Superman animated series from Bruce Timm. Go watch how that Superman acts in that cartoon, and he's as stoic as it gets, you know.
Yeah. My thing is with what we're calling the Mandoverse, though, is do we go and do they cast an alternate Harrison Ford, or do they CGI Harrison Ford? Like when you've done Luke, it would be weird to all of a sudden be like, and then here's Anthony Gruber playing Han Solo at a much older age than Han Solo basically was in the movie, you know? So they've made a weird conundrum for themselves, and I don't know what the right answer is, you know?
I'm not the biggest fan of people having to change their last names for their job. But if there was ever a case to maybe, you know, if you want people to remember you, that's a difficult one to like, you know, it doesn't zing.
Like his name should be like
off the page.
What's his name? Is it Anthony Gruber?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be like Anthony Dodge. His name is Dodge. He's Ford. It makes sense. Shit cars. Let's do it.
All I'm saying, Jason, is Anthony Stryker paints a. You don't forget that name.
Dude, that's my name. No, you don't take my name. But yeah, I mean, and I'm throwing up some footage, by the way, from Indy, or pictures of that were taken of Indy Roman sword fight against Vikings. I'm not sure.
All I hear is airplane quotes.
Yeah,
you
right.
Ever seen a Roman sword fight? Oh man.
Okay, are you guys ready
cool.
for the biggest spoiler? Do you guys remember when was it Jinga Win went on Star Wars Celebration and talked about his fate? Remember when he gave his fate away from Rogue One?
Yes.
Here we go. Part 2.
Indiana Jones, I don't play the bad guy. Many people think that I am the villain there. I'm not the villain. I'm a very good guy. Yeah. And actually, I die.
You guys hear that? You guys heard that, right? You guys heard that, yeah? Here we go.
For the man. Yeah. The man broke his shoulder, and that's why I have to...
Sorry, I didn't go back far enough. Wait.
For the man. For him.
Come on, player.
For him. For him.
My players.
Actually, I die.
There we go.
I die. Actually, I die.
Hey man, please
Actually,
work that into the theme song. Do one.
I die.
You know, for the indie episodes, for the indie episodes,
Actually,
right? We need that one. So
For him. Fuck it. I feel like he's about to go Louis and Armand on him right here. I died for him. I love you.
Yeah, the man broke his shoulder, and that's why I have to just interrupt my rehearsals because the whole entire production. But it is a pleasure to work for Steven Spielberg in this occasion as a producer, James Mangold, Harrison Ford, everybody that is involved in the project. It's a beautiful, it's like a gift.
So Steven doing a more active role in the producing side. Think he's in the meetings.
Yeah. I still think Spielberg, has a huge financial interest in investment in this whole thing, and so. Oh, there was this funny. I wish I had that up right now. The Crawling Chaos says the plot of Indy 5 is probably about an Atlantean artifact. Maybe they finally went back to the Fate of Atlantis story that was canceled, but at least it became a comic and a game. There was that. What's it called? What's that machine called? That like early computer?
The Amnithicurist, Amnicrinacar.
I can't remember how to say it. Yeah. Antikythera. So, anyways, but it's under lock and key because they don't want nerds to try to install Doom on it. that made me laugh pretty hard when you said that. But okay, he says that's Greek helmets. Okay, so it's ancient Greece then. Like,
guys, you know what the fuck we're talking about? Like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, I don't mind being. I don't mind. I don't mind getting my.
Those are British Museum helmets. They're in the British Museum. I've seen them. I hear you. Well, thank you for the correction, but at the same time, who cares?
And Antikythera.
Fuck it, they're samurai helmets. What if I'm wrong? Who cares?
All right, how about we call it this? Ancient nerd shit. They call this ancient
nerd shit, dude. See, let's just take the James Gunn road to everything, right? Let's just call it ancient nerd shit.
Ancient nerd shit. Indiana Jones and the quest for ancient nerd shit. It's coming. Don't worry.
The better fan film, probably. I like it.
Yeah, but I feel like the chess pieces or whatever, the board has been moved more towards time travel than it was yesterday. The little nuclear war clock thing for Indy of it being time travel or not is definitely taking one step closer to midnight. I for whatever reason I do think it is time travel based, but it's one of those things where I'm like, but is it though? Is it? And but seeing the same actor now seeing the same actor in different ways, different costumes from different eras seems to definitely imply that. So it's like what could the plot be? And like I think like an obvious plot would be that Mads Mikkelsen is a Nazi post World War II who has finally come up with a way to make time travel work. The CIA or the Secret Service, whatever, are onto it, and they know how it works. They know the technology probably since World War II with the atomic testing and stuff, and they basically are going to try to stop them from messing with time to install the Nazis as this powerful, the Fourth Reich, but starting back at a different point in time or something like that. That's just a guess, because if they already have time travel, it's not trying to stop the Nazis from getting time travel. They already have it, is what it seems to be implying. Unless he's trying to stop them from going to get the whole film, and then what we're seeing is the culmination of the film, and they end up back in time, and then what happens in every.
Well, like
story?
I said, we've talked about the fact that Indy could be like a Nazi hunter or consulting for that, or and
yeah.
the idea that they go to Argentina or South America and find one of these Bavarian villages that are actually there in real life. I mean, if you go there, there's these weird German Bavarian villages with Nazi symbols. Just they're fucking down there, man. It's crazy, you know, like, and then a group of fucking like local kids that grew up there, they speak German. You know,
like, my father works in the at a refinery. And you know what he was telling me? When you go up, you know, when you see those oil refineries, like the one in Wilmington, when you go up, there's these like huge like gaskets and like valves, and we didn't want to remake them, so we just took them from the Nazis. And when you go there today, right now, there's there's swastikas on them in our oil refineries today. It's wild, right?
All the money they got, they still got Nazi fucking towers up in there, you know, because they're too fucking cheap.
Just take it from the Nazis. Just steal it. I mean, we kind of what was it called? Project Paperclip or Operation Paperclip. The oil industry had their own version of it apparently, and used it to.
Hey, look, never put it. Some friends of mine hit me up because they're like, "Hey, Microsoft's buying Activision. What do you think, Rob?" And I'm like, I think that corporations always have unlimited funds to buy other corporations, but they never seem to have enough money to pay every single one of their employees a living fucking wage. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and so like they don't have money we don't have money to build new towers, but we definitely got new money to do giant buybacks and triple stock whatever, and you know, acquire endless other corporations and consolidate. So
it's Operation Oil Splat. Yeah,
that's hilarious. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really, I don't deeply care about that Activision Blizzard thing, to be honest with you, for the most part. But what I do like the idea that a bunch of people who should have jobs, you know, not everybody in a corporation or a company is shit, and that company is clearly going down in flames. It sounds like, and that's how I feel about the company that's doing that one Star Wars game. You know, it's like I don't want all of those people on his crew who aren't pieces of shit to not, you know, have a job because that guy's an asshole or whatever, and not be able to make a Star Wars game. So it's kind of hard. How do you, you know, what is the line on that stuff? I mean, at the end of the day, if they don't shake that culture there, it won't really matter, will it? You know, it'll just kind of.
It won't matter. Well, you think Microsoft is like any better? Like,
yeah.
You know, like, oh yeah, there's never. I don't know. I don't know if you're familiar with Steve Ballmer. Like,
not
you're
deeply.
Telling me that
I know a little bit.
Those group of people have all been purged, and they're all just the best whatever, man. Like, it's just another corporation acquiring another corporation. So it's like, I'm supposed to root for this. Like,
yeah.
Like my friend goes, "What about when Disney got the Fox stuff?" I'm like, "Well, Fox should have gone out of business, and then Disney would have got their X-Men shit back. So you fucking dudes can shut up." You know, like, it doesn't really. All it does is these people you hate, like the CEOs, they're just gonna get giant $200 million buyouts anyway. You know, like Rupert Murdoch got $70 billion or whatever, like, or 40 million or whatever. Like, how does that help democracy?
Like, yeah, and even when things tend to go bad for them, it's like, oh well, it's not to sit on this big pile of cash I was born under already. You know, it's like,
yeah. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
I do hope though that some of these things we've talked about, like the Argentinian Nazi shit, is in there, and it isn't. That would be such an opportunity, a wasted opportunity to not put in the movie. You know, like, that seems just the most logical thing. Like, why wouldn't Indiana Jones help down the Hague, track down Nazi survivors? Like, if there's anything he would do in his elder years, you would think, you know, I mean, he's able to traverse jungles. You know, he knows all the weird Nazi puzzles. Like, not doing that, just, it's like the easiest whiteboard idea ever. You know, like, I'm not going to go in there and go, I'm mad they didn't get that, but what a fucking wasted opportunity if they don't, you know?
Yeah. I'm with you. I think, I mean, unless they wanted to paint a picture that after the last Indiana Jones movie, Indy got married and was just really pretty much out of it, just doing his job, goes to retire. We know he is retiring because he has that retirement clock, and goes to retire, and then all of a sudden, his last adventure kicks up again. Kind of story. It could be that. I mean,
it's like, I could spend my life with Marion, or I can go into time and hunt Nazis. I'm out. Peace.
There's like a one shot where he's looking at Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and he's looking over at old Marion, looking at Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
The Vader look.
Yeah,
the Vader look.
Yeah. And then he goes, and he looks at the camera and he goes, "What have I done?" And then he just goes with Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. Good luck, dude. Do it. And she says Oscar Isaac was in a movie all about that. Forgot the name. Maybe Oscar Isaac can play Antonio Banderas' character as a young man in their previous adventures someday. But
I was gonna say Pedro Pascal and him have a very similar "I die."
Yeah, they do the same voice. Yeah, but
I die.
Yeah,
it's the coolest "I die" ever, man. Dude, it's so fucking smooth.
I mean, yeah, but Pedro Pascal, like I said, if I understand, I grew up in Newport Beach. It's like I think that's kind of a thing.
I feel like if the Rocky movies had kept going into the 90s, Antonio Banderas would have been like one of the dudes he fought. In the 90s. Like he had that run, and he's like you imagine a guy who's like the Latin version of like Apollo Creed, where he's super smooth, and Rocky comes off looking like the fucking stoic asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, I find it kind of weird that they haven't brought Sala back. You think the actor just is just not interested? Just like no.
The last I saw from John Rhys Davies, he was hunkered down in the Isle of Man. Was when COVID first hit. He did a YouTube video. I'm here in the Isle of Man. I'm not leaving during this. And he was like reading poetry and shit. I'm like, I wish he would do it every day. At least once a week. Poetry from my place in the Isle of Man.
because I'm getting the vibe that this guy is sort of like a combination of Sala and the old captain with the boat from the end of Raiders. I'm getting the impression he's almost like just one of those dudes. Like he knows those dudes. You know what I mean? Like he knows Sala.
I was going to be in 85, but they replaced me with podcast from Ghostbusters Afterlife. I was replaced by a podcast.
Ed, how's it going? Ed says Operation Finale is the Oscar Isaac Nazi movie.
Okay. I have not actually seen that. I'll put that on my list. Is it good?
Yeah, it sounds fun.
Or is this Netflix shit?
Oscar Isaac doesn't tend to pick bad things. Doesn't mean he hasn't, but he doesn't.
It was a fucking apocalypse.
Okay, well,
no, you cannot get him. No, you forgot because it was so fucking bad. But come on, he was not good in that role
because he just wanted the money. It was. I'm talking about like when it sounds like something serious. I mean, like he got to play apocalypse, but whatever. Yeah, well,
all right.
Yeah, I don't know though. I probably never even saw that whole movie. So what do I know? Yep, that's it. It was pretty good. All right, cool.
I saw it with Homeboy in the Room. Fucking who's that director? The guy I can't stand. Simon Kinberg. With Simon Kinberg's in there. That's when I got super sick because I was sitting next to this lady who was covered in like keychains and snot and mucus, and she was fucking. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. She was that trash lady from Labyrinth, right? I was sitting next to that fucking lady, and I got so sick. I was sick on my way home from there, driving back to San Diego. Like that's how quickly it got me.
Yeah,
it's the most. That woman would have killed me with COVID by now for certain. But anyway.
Eric Denton's all, he was in Rise of Skywalker. Eric, you troll. You're just a little troll.
Good. Oh, man. Crawling Chaos. Is that Eric? Is that Crawling Chaos? Thank you. He was in Rise of Skywalker. He'll do anything.
No, I mean he was in
no
Rise of
morals.
Skywalker before he knew he was in Rise of Skywalker. He signed on for 3 at the end, But
You know what? He could have been like, no.
I refuse. I am Oscar Isaac. Yeah, that would have ended his
why
career.
not?
I mean, and what I'm saying is, he like Adam Driver. Like Adam Driver, he's been in some things that aren't great, but on whole, if you see an Adam Driver thing, you know that when he signed on, it had potential. It's more of what I'm trying to say. I don't think he signs on to potentialless projects. Just he doesn't Nicolas Cage it,
By the way, the new Nicolas Cage movie with Pedro Pascal looks great.
Yeah, it does.
Great.
Yeah, I want to see it. Every actor did a fine job in Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, they just didn't have a lot to work with, I think, personally. Hell Satan, how's it going, dude? Always good to see you.
Hell Satan.
Yeah, but we've done like almost an hour and a half today. Well, we've done an hour and 11 minutes, but I think we're gonna call this one a show because we're gonna be back tonight. So we'll be back tonight.
Any last minute predictions for tonight? Any? Like a dinner scene finally.
Yeah, Star Wars Mega said that we're gonna get the dinner scene, and
but she's really certain that Crimson Dawn's a big part of all this.
I think
I like
so.
Meg a lot. I can't be 100% right all the time.
Yeah, I'm predicting the dinner scene is tonight. The Naboo starfighters tonight, that bounty hunters will be hired, that and then we're going to see where the show's going tonight. That's what I think. So that is my guess. And
I'm just here for the starfighters.
They're going to be there. They're going to be there for the din. Is what I'm trying to say. But all right, everybody. Any last closing thoughts, Rob, before we go?
Any last closing?
any last things?
I would just like to again thank you to Max for coming on yesterday with Max, all the Maxes.
Yeah,
and maximum. Sharing with us a bit of news. I mean, a bit of an experience that I have friends who have worked on Star Wars comics I've asked to come on the show, or even my show in the past. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are afraid to ever talk about their experience because they never want to be caught in saying the wrong thing inadvertently, not even meaning to,
Right.
And this is before the internet got all political. For years it's been a problem. So I really appreciate him coming on and sharing his experience. It was super fun to hear. And I too hope to one day run into Robert Rodriguez at Craft Services and wonder if I awkwardly make the move to bring up, I don't know. Vespas? Really? Like, and then he just kicks the living shit out of me. Like,
I have a piece of advice for him. It's like next time, where like Robert Rodriguez, he's like getting a sub sandwich. He like pulls it up, and like he's like gonna put it. He's like putting it on his tray or his plate or whatever. Walk up, just bite it, and then look him in the eye and go, "I'm a go-getter, Robert. I'll do anything you fucking need, baby. I'll do whatever you want." And then he'd be like, you know what? This kid has it. This kid needs to be in all my projects because he is a go-getter. He's not afraid of anything. He'll do anything. So that's how I would do it.
And I want to see that set where he pulls up in his Audi, but
Moss Vespa.
Ewan.
Moss Vespa would have been the best article title. Why did I just think of that? You're late. Sorry.
I was gonna say I forgot.
Sorry. I just
yeah,
I get excited sometimes, Rob. Sometimes just get excited. But hey,
I never want to hear how we can't do a pod racing. Look, man, I think pod racing as
it's a bigger fish
is better than I mean, it just makes sense because you can do those things like all animated in, you know what I mean? Like in terms of the racing stuff and canyons and different areas. That mixture of trying to get everyone in frame along a real set, I think just requires a lot more money.
That would be a good opening to season 2 if he becomes the unified crime lord at the end. You open season 2 and he's like doing the Jabba the Hutt thing, you know, at the pod race.
He's like, we're bringing the braces back.
And then here comes Warwick Davis playing his character, not Wald. What was it? It was like Weasel, and Weasel comes in. He's like,
with Jabba.
yeah, and he's like, we got word that Mace Windu's alive, and he says he can kick your ass.
He's been dead. He can't live that long. He's human. He's not an alien. You know, he's human. He's not an alien. What if he's an alien that looks like a human?
Yeah.
Don't you know your UFO conspiracy theories?
Oh, talking Sith's all. The mayor's major dumbo will die, foreshadowed by Malorun orange fruit last episode, akin to the oranges in The Godfather. Yeah.
The fact that Noah's go, yo, Major Domo, like I could just see that. That is such a Lucasy line.
Major
right?
Domo.
Like, I can imagine little young Jake Lloyd going, all right, Major Domo. Like, oh, yeah. This guy. All right. Good one.
Wouldn't it be funny if at the end, like, Boba wins and they're all just like, they all look at each other, like all the bounty hunters are all jacked up. Boba looks at the camera and goes, Chappa Chowa. They all laugh, and that's the end. They're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, what are you doing? Told you the fucking prequels aren't that great. I don't, you know, they got some good moments, but as a full course dinner, I don't know about all that.
So, Chappa Chowa. But anyway,
Chappa Dabba. That should have been the test line. That really should have been the test line, you know?
Oh, shit.
You know?
All right, everybody. We will be back tonight at about 1 a.m. I plan to start right at 1 a.m. Just so you guys know, if it's a minute or two after 1 a.m., it's not that I'm being a jerk. It's just that I'm trying to get those last screenshots in because it is nice and it does give the show some structure to have the screenshots. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. If not, I hope you guys catch the replay on that one. And if it's a really good episode, we'll also be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. If it's not that great of an episode, but just more whatever, and we do it all tonight, then we do it all tonight, you know, and then you can watch it tomorrow. But thanks to everybody who is a channel member and supports the show. I do appreciate it. And everybody who hangs out with us in the chat all day and just, you know, hangs out with us is great too. So I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys tonight. And maybe I will resurrect Rob back from the dead. Maybe I won't. It just depends, you know? It just depends. Say bye, Rob.
Everyone always says, why don't you get a job, Rob? And then when I get one, they're like, well, you know, I mean, I'm still doing the cast. Like, pick and choose your battles.
Your job is that you're dead. You got killed.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show.
It's not about spaceships.
Hold on, Jason. Thank you for choosing Starbucks. Can I take your order, please?
Nice.